Peace, family. It's your brother Ben X, man. We downtown Fort Worth at Union Station, and you are now tuned in. And make sure you tap in with the Bob Report.
Hey, real tone, there's some real money in the room.
Brother Ben X, the NOI. You're a top representative for the NOI, which is the top representative for our people, black people, indigenous people to this land, and others. Why did you choose the Nation of Islam to be? You could have did anything you wanted to. Why did you pick that?
The reason I chose the Nation of Islam was because of my personal experience that I had with the Nation of Islam. I was going to school to be a basketball player. Well, I was a basketball player in school, and brother Malik Muhammad, my study group coordinator, came and spoke at my school about the role of the male and the female. And as he's, talking, I'm intrigued, because when he gives his introduction, he's talking about, I got 7 children. They all graduated high school around the age of 15, 14, 16, something around that nature, and how long he's been doing for self. So before I even, read the book, Message to the Black Man, and what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching us and what we should, have as a goal, I saw somebody in the flesh, being that. So I asked him to become my mentor. He became my mentor. We got to emailing each other back and forth, texting each other back and forth, and he invited me to study group. Now, study group is what the Nation of Islam has, which is where we host, self-improvement. We call it self-improvement study group. So we go over rising above emotions into the thinking of God. We go over the struggle for balance. We go over the God within. We go over how to eat to live. We go over the time and what must be done. We go over current events, how we can avoid them, what we can do different. We go over relationships. So our main problems as a people, I believe, is mental and spiritual. I believe physical and money, economics, things of that nature is a byproduct of your mental and spiritual maturity, because there's a lot of people that done seen 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. But because they wasn't mentally and spiritually ready for it, they lost it. They don't know what they did with it. They ain't got nothing to show for it. So being able to have a spiritual and a mental foundation was very important for me. It gave me lessons on how to be a man. It taught me how to, rise above my emotions into the thinking of God, to where now when I get into certain things business-wise, I know how to navigate through them versus, doing something crazy and then destroying everything. So we got close, and he actually became like a father figure to me. So I go off to college. I go off to Lamar University. Finally got my chance to go D1, play basketball. Now around this time, I'm starting really to lose love for basketball because it started to feel like a job to me. And when I started to spread the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the response I got from YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook was crazy, because this is before I even joined the Nation of Islam. I'm just sharing what I'm learning in study group. I'm sharing what I'm learning from the teachings, and I'm sharing what I'm learning from him. And I'm getting DMs like, man, brother, you saved my life through your podcast. You saved my life through your video. Man, I was thinking about suicide, giving up, man, but your podcast, your videos gave me hope. And I'm like, damn, like this is fulfilling my soul more than
Before you joined.
This is all before I joined. This is fulfilling my soul more than basketball is. So I felt like basketball led me up into this moment, because we taught in the Nation of Islam that unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. Well, my basketball background, my principles, I still use that when it comes to our people. I play point guard. I can dunk, but I know I ain't got a house to be dunking in the game. So I'm gonna throw it to the big man, because that's his skill set. He's tall. If I'm off, I'm not shooting good, I can get it to my 2 guard or whoever hot, and they can do it. So I take those same principles of unity I took on the basketball court, and I bring them to the nation. Now, why join the Nation of Islam? What is Islam? Many of us don't even know what Islam means. Islam, we think, is some Arabs overseas, and man, Allahu Akbar means let's blow up everything. Allahu Akbar simply means God is the greatest. Assalamu alaikum simply means peace be unto you. So when I look up what Islam means, Islam simply means entire submission to do the will of God. What does Muslim mean? One who submits his or her will to do the will of God. So really, we are taught that we're a Muslim by nature, all of us. I don't care what you claim. He said, if you're a Hebrew Israelite and you submit in your will, if you're a Christian, if you're a Moor, whatever you call yourself, if you submit in your will to do the will of God as we naturally would, if we was left alone, since we born in sin, shaped in iniquity, we will be submitting our will to do the will of God. Being Muslim, how we eat, our diet. I never seen that was my first introduction to having someone who really cares about the body. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad decades ago was teaching us on eating 1 meal a day. Now we see intermittent fasting and all this. They putting different words on it, but it's simply how to eat to live. You know, the Christian church growing up, you know, I heard, you know, we can eat pork. We can eat beef. We can eat all these different things. Why? Because it's not what goes in the man that defiles him. It's what comes out. Well, that don't make no sense. If I drink bleach, I guarantee you that's going to defile me. If I eat some boo-boo, I guarantee you that's going to defile me. So if I eat some bad food, I'm going to be throwing up. What that means is we're going to take in a lot of spiritual things. We're going to hear words. We're going to hear this philosophy. We're going to hear this perspective, and it may be bad. But as long as they don't go in and change you to where it's coming out of you, then you haven't been defiled. So just seeing how the Nation of Islam and the minister really breaks down the scripture and makes things real for us. And I can see myself in the scripture now. I can see myself, you know, in life now. The minister said, if I take a picture of this whole room, who's the first person you're going to look for? Yourself. He said the reason our people aren't interested in a religion, the education, the Bible, the Quran, all these different things is because we don't see ourselves in the picture. But he shows us where we are in the picture and how we can use this allegory. A lot of us look at it as a physical book, like everything in it is literal, but it's a lot of allegory, metaphors to get us to look at life experiences that we're going through today and teaching us on how to use them. And ever since I've been using it, man, my life has been getting better. So that's why I choose the Nation of Islam, because I just simply accepted my own and I'm now being myself.
How long have you been a part of the Nation of Islam?
I joined the Nation of Islam in 2015. So what is that? 7 years now.
Okay. What drives you to push hard for the NOI outside of your personal beliefs and what you believe in as a man? What makes you want to go tell a brother when you step outside this door about the Nation of Islam? You know what I'm saying?
The scriptures say our people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. I say all the time, man, our people will say, man, that's on God. Nigga, I put that on God. But then when you look in the scripture, John 14:12 says, those who believe will do the work that I'm doing. Well, what work was Jesus doing? Jesus said, I'm coming and I'm going to give sight to the blind. I'm going to make the deaf hear. I'm going to make the dumb speak. I'm going to give life to the dead. Well, these aren't physical things. Of course, nobody going to a physical grave and raising nobody up. But we mentally dead as a people. We spiritually dead as a people. We spiritually and mentally blind as a people. So if we saying that we these believers in God or believers in Jesus, then all of us should be doing this type of work. And I see the value that I've seen the value of it in my life. So I would be really selfish to have so much knowledge that I'm learning and not sharing it with a brother who I know if he just had this knowledge, he'll be a better human being. You know, in our lessons, it says this is our duty. And if we don't do this duty, you know, eventually they gonna kill us. Meaning the people, because we've had this knowledge and we had we had the answer and we're not giving it to them. So if you don't educate this brother that you walk past every day, that you know doing wrong, that you know you can help him out, this may be the same person that turned on you because of his ignorance. But if you just educated him, you could have saved him. And you could have saved really millions of people or many people because he could harm others or others. These are the same people that your sons may be working for. These are the same people that may be working for your sons. So I'm not just thinking about them. I'm thinking about also personal too. Like if I create a bunch of relationships and help a lot of people out, that just makes the world a better place. I don't have to worry about, you know, five less people, I gotta worry about 5 less people robbing me, shooting me because their mindsets have changed. So I'm just the type of person, man, when I learn something, I just like to share it anyway. I like to document my process. So a lot of time when I'm posting my videos, Oftentimes I be talking about myself. Oftentimes I'm just posting the scripture or the clip that's helped me in my life right now, and it just happens to help you because I know I'm not the only one going through problems. So if I got a problem going through relationship problem or mental problem or being a man problem or beef conflict, somebody else going through it as well. So if I found that, dang man, this is really helpful for me, why not just share it with your brother or your sister?
Do you feel like you still learning?
Absolutely. I feel like all of us are going to be learning. We all learn from the cradle to the grave. The minister said at every level is a new devil. I've been able to see millions of dollars. I've been able to have many relationships, but at the same time, there's so many things I could have done better in business. There's so many things, so many different ways I could have managed my money a lot better. There's so many different ways I could have managed relationships a lot better. So I think God is always going to be giving, us something to learn. The minister teaches us that we should study everything around us. Everything around us is knowledge. For example, if I'm going through something, I can study the sun, I can study the earth and see that it's about to be nighttime, but in the morning, the sun is going to shine. So he also teaches us that darkness isn't real. It's simply the absence of light. So when I look at my lifestyle and I say, man, I'm going through darkness, I can study earth and say, hey, what does the teaching say about how Allah created himself in triple darkness? That creative process took trillions of years. So if it took the God trillions of years to create himself from that atom down, how long is it going to take me to come up out of my condition? I can't give up because it took me 1 month and I ain't made it yet. Yeah, it's dark right now, but it's going to be light tomorrow. So if I'm in a dark period of time right now and I understand that darkness is just the absence of light, I just got to go find some light. Well, what is light? Light is knowledge. So now let me go find someone who's already gone through this situation, talk to him, not be shy, act like I know everything, because man, a righteous person gonna walk the earth in humility. I can learn from a baby. I can learn from a young person. I can learn from somebody who I think is dumb if I'm looking at them with the right perspective. So I say, man, we all are going to always have something that we can grow in, and life is going to continue to do it. I may have dropped out of college. I did drop out of college. But I'm paying hella, man, I done paid hella college fees these last 2 years in business, relationships, how to deal with people, being careful about who I, partner with, who I share my brand with, all kind of things. I'm still learning. So although I'm not reading a book, although I'm not looking at my tablet, although I'm not in college, man, I'm going through the best of school right now. God taking me through that through experience.
Hey, real tone is a real money in the
Where
room.
did the X come from, Brother Ben X?
Whenever someone joins the Nation of Islam, we write a letter and we basically give up our slave name. And when I say slave name, I mean the last name that the slave master gave us through our family, because this is how he was able to identify us on the slave plantation. So we get the last name Jones, Petty, Johnson, Smith, things of this nature. This isn't our original names. These are names we was beaten into. If you look at the movie Roots, his name was Kunta Kinte. He was beat into the name Toby. So the X is, I like to say it stands for ex-nigger. It stands for ex-slave. When you look at our accomplishments, that's the Smith family. Oh, there go to this family. Oftentimes you're looking at the last name. Well, I'd be damned if I, separate from this enemy on a mental level and a spiritual level, then all my great accomplishments is going to be under his name. No, so we just going to put the X on there, which stands for unknown, until we work our way into a holy name. X is a holy name, but you want to work for a Muhammad or Ali or things of that nature. For example, Muhammad simply stands for one who is worthy of praise and praise much. So based on the attribute, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will give us a name based on the work that we're doing. But we got the X so that we no longer under the name of the white man, under the name of the white slave master who gave us that name to identify his slaves on a slave plantation.
Is Ali more significant name or term than X?
I would say they are all holy names according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's a little bit more rare than the X because everybody gets an X coming in. But, you may be named Ali, you may be named Muhammad and things of that nature. So less people have Ali.
What do you think about Brother Malcolm X?
As far as what?
Period. Have you ever studied his teachings, his speeches?
Yeah, I studied the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teachings. So by studying the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teachings, I am studying what Brother Malcolm X stated and what he taught. Malcolm X is actually on camera saying that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me everything I know and made me everything that I am. So the Malcolm X that we know today was made by the very teachings that I'm studying. So yes, I have studied the teachings that Malcolm X studied. I think Brother Malcolm was great, and is a great, how do I want to put this, asset even to the Nation of Islam. According to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, even in his death, he said even when you look at the Malcolm X movie, they had evil intentions. You know, they wanted to put their spin on it, and we see now in 2023, if we've been seeing some of the updates, brothers done been exonerated. Yep. We see that the FBI and all these other entities are now being sued by the family. We see the daughter a couple years ago say that she has done the research and found that it wasn't the Nation of Islam. All these type of things have been out. But he said even in their evil intentions, God still see it or made it good, because a lot of people found out about the Nation of Islam through the movie. A lot of people found out about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and can go do their own research. You can go do their own research on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So my thoughts is he's a great leader and was a great advocate for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And if it wasn't for him, many people would have not been, and still probably wouldn't be, introduced to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which I believe are life-giving teachings.
Do you feel like the movie depicted the Nation of Islam to be something that they weren't? Like far as the, you know how movies do, man, when they're not made by.
Yeah, well, at the end, it's a movie. It's made to be entertaining. It's made to be dramatic. Some of these movies is safe for entertainment purposes only, and some of us will look at a movie and think I'm looking at a documentary. Mm-hmm. No, you're not listening. You're not watching a documentary. You're not interviewing those people who are actually there. So my thoughts on the movie is the movie was, you know, whatever Spike Lee or whoever wrote it had in their head. I didn't expect it to depict the actual facts because they wasn't there. They didn't interview people from the Nation of Islam. People from the Nation of Islam wasn't in the movie. The minister said they didn't come talk to him. So I think the movie was what it was intended to be. Does it represent the Nation of Islam? In some aspects, sure. But in all aspects, as far as what happened to Brother Malcolm, I would say no.
Where are you from?
I like to just say Dallas, Fort Worth, because I went to school in Fort Worth elementary and middle school, but even then I was always going to Oak Cliff as well. In high school, I went to South Oak Cliff High School, then I transferred and graduated from DeSoto, so DFW area.
Okay, I'm from the same area, and most children from that area do not choose the NOI. They choose gangbanging, mm-hmm. And different things. How did you stay mentally strong to understand that this is what I wanted to do and not that? Because I know as soon as you stepped outside, being in Fort Worth and in Oak Cliff, that's what's at your doorstep. Amongst other things.
I had a purpose growing up, and I feel like a lot of times when a child doesn't have something that he's striving for, then we just attach on to anything that's available. So, you know, I've been, you know, around some things, a lot of things, probably the same things everybody else done been around. But I always had in the back of my head, damn, I got a basketball game though. So if I mess this up, then I can't play basketball. But someone who don't believe in themselves, they haven't been shown love. They haven't been encouraged to where they have the confidence to make it to the league or be a rapper or become an entrepreneur, then it's like I'm just living. So I know I gotta make money. Money is important. So if drugs come, let me just try this, because that's what big cousin doing. That's what my uncle doing. So we gotta be very careful about the environment that we in. So if you don't have a strong mind, you don't have a strong purpose, then your environment will crumble you. So for me, you know, I didn't want to smoke because I had a little asthma growing up. And I felt like if I smoke, I wouldn't be able to play the whole game because I'm used to playing the whole game. I felt like if I smoke, it'll mess up my lungs. Because if I cough while I'm smoking, That's not a good thing. My God made our bodies pretty good. So if we're coughing, that's a reflex that our lungs is telling us, hey, something is wrong. Stop putting it in there. Now we're going to cough and we're going to make our excuses and justify it and keep doing it. But that's what the lungs is saying. So for me, I feel like, well, man, my lungs got to be good. Man, my wind got to be good. So I didn't smoke. I didn't want to rob or steal, because if I rob or steal, if I get caught, man, I'm going to be locked up and I don't want to play the game. So my purpose was a lot stronger than the negative influences that was pulling on me. So I look at this like a tug of war. You got a man or a black man that's growing up in a world where maybe his mother and father can't provide like he want them to provide. You growing up with a man and a woman where the father may be off and he's seeing his mother struggling. So in the back of his mind, especially as a young child, I want to help my mother naturally. You know, a lot of us may be mama boys, so I'm gonna do what I gotta do to support my mother. Well, if you don't have any positive influences over here saying, hey son, you can get this job. Hey son, you can make a lot of money in sales. Hey man, you can go to the league, to where he's patient enough to believe if I keep working, I can get to the league and then pay mom. If he ain't got something over here pulling him strong, then he's gonna, go over here robbing, stealing, crash dummy. All the type of stuff that we do is because this has become stronger than this. And that's what we all go through every day. All of us got a God within and all of us got a devil within. I'm not talking about no devil under the ground. I'm not talking about no sky daddy up in the sky. All of us, before we do something wrong, we have a thought in our head that says, brother, damn, don't do that. Now, come on, man. You know you're not supposed to do that. We watching porn, we watching something we not supposed to be watching. Now you know dang well you're not supposed to be watching, but soon as you finish, man, I feel nasty. I ain't never doing this again. Well, what is that? Who is that speaking? What is that thought process? That's the God within us reminding us of who we really are by nature. So the more we submit to our lower selves or the devil, the more we're going to submit to evil and become devils and start to take what's in our mind and live it out. So scripture says, be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. So if the devil takes over my mind, and when I say devil, only these are thoughts that are contrary to the root of God, to the will of God. So if I submit more to the good, if I have a situation where I'm like, I'm in the valley of decision, you got your angel on this side and the devil on this side. The more you choose good, that strengthens your will. You get stronger. The more we fast, we're taught that fasting helps us build the will. What is fasting? I may fast from food for 3 days. I may fast from, juice for 3 days. I may fast from social media. When I see, man, hold on, man, I can go 3 days without eating. So if I can go 3 days without eating, I surely can go 3 days without porn. If I can go 3 days without eating because I need to eat to survive, I got to drink to survive. If I can go 3 days without this, I surely can go 3 days without smoking. And as we start to see, oh man, look at how powerful I am. I can deny myself food. I can take control of my own body. I can tell my stomach, shut up when it's growling. Now I'm taking full control of myself and I'm strengthening my mind. So if you ain't got that type of mindset, then it's hard for you to fight this type of world, because Satan is always working 24/7. You see bad influences in movies. You see bad influences in music. You see bad influence in music videos, and you see bad influences in your neighborhood. So Satan is always marketing. That's why I'm always marketing. I'm always promoting something good. I'm always promoting the teachings. Why do you promote so much? You don't get mad when GG's is on K1 when they promoting every day. McDonald's, they promote every day. If I say ba-da-ba-ba-ba, everybody know I'm loving it. But what about the health food stores? We ain't got no jingles in our head about good food. We ain't got no jingles in our head about good services, good programs. So how we gonna fight the devil when we scared to promote? I say this all the time with entrepreneurs. You get mad or you shy because somebody's saying, man, you always promoting your business. You damn right. You always going to work 9 to 5 faithfully. So of course I'm going to promote my business 9 to 5 or more than that faithfully, because I'm doing something good. I'm not robbing nobody. I'm not scamming nobody intentionally. I'm not doing nothing wrong to nobody. So of course I should get that out. And all of us, I think, when we have found our purpose and found our gift and found a way to impact somebody, man, we should do it every day, all the time. But to answer the question, man, I had a real purpose. I really wanted to go to the league, and not just go to the league. I always wanted to be an NBA all-star. So in order for me to be an NBA All-Star, it's certain things that I couldn't do that everybody was doing because I had a higher standard for myself. So I think what needs to take place is young people at an early age got to be taught and got to be influenced and see themselves being higher, which is why we teach our people that we're gods. If I ask my son who he is, he know he's a god. A God is a being with force and power. Whatever takes place in our head, we can bring it into existence. God ain't no abracadabra thing where he say be and it just happened. No, he summons the will of this person, this thought, this thing right here, and he makes it happen. Same way we make things happen. We want a woman, we want to go have sex with her, and we ain't got no car. What we do, we make it happen. We plan. Well, we can do that same thing with real things in our life as well.
You know, Brother Ben, most young black men pick up Muslim when they get to the slammer, when they get to jail. To make a conscious decision before you even come across those things, my hat's off to you, man, because it's a lot of ill and evil that's out here, and what you chose obviously was a good decision, because now I've learned some things from you just by watching you on the social media, you know what I'm saying? So I can honestly say that, like you said, you reach one, you teach one, and you spreading the word, and it's just spreading the word, you know what I'm saying? So you keep going, man.
And it's like this, man. There's two ways for us to learn. You can learn from your own experience, or you can learn from someone else. I said this at a young age. Why do I want to go be street and be this tough guy, be this killer, abuse everybody to where, and I ain't scared to go to jail? Well, bro, I done looked at Tookie Williams, big swole dude. I know people personally who really killers. I know some people that be online faking at it, saying what they'll do. They'll shoot at the sky and all that playing. I know somebody don't really kill somebody, and they ready to come home. They changing their life. They getting positive. They talking about white supremacy. They done studying the law. They waking up. So why am I gonna be out here when knowing people who 10 times better than me, they ready to come home? Why would I go that route? So I said, man, if Tookie Williams writing books about changing your life, and we know this who y'all follow, or any other gangster that you know, they get in there after a while. When you get older, man, that stuff get old, man. They want to have children. If I want a bean pie, I want to get me a bean pie. You know, if I want to go drive in my car, I want to be able to drive in my car. If I want to, and another thing, man, I love my wife, so I want to be around my woman. I don't want to be around a bunch of men. I love my children. I want to be around my children. I want freedom. And Islam is peace. Assalamu alaikum means peace be unto you. Wa alaikum salam is returning that greeting of peace be unto you. So when you go to prison, I'm pretty sure, I ain't been there, but I'm pretty sure from the stories I've heard of people in there, there's a lot of chaos. It's not a lot of peace there. And you may have some time where now you can reflect and then you find peace, Islam. And so now when you got time to study, when you got time, you ain't got nothing else to do. You're not distracted by having to make money. You're not distracted by foolishness. You're not distracted by a lot of these things. I think a lot of brothers go to jail, and when they sit down, they read these books. They get a chance to get the knowledge that they didn't have time to get out, and that's why they become Muslim. Now, of course, there's a lot of people that go in. They may want protection and things of that nature, but I feel like a lot of them find themselves in the teachings. They find their purpose. They find their gift. They find a reason, an aim and purpose for life. So why am I going to wait to go to prison to do that when I'm already seeing my brother? He done already went that route. You know, it's unfortunate, but praise be to Allah, I didn't have to go that route to get it. If he's saying he finna write a book, but damn, I don't want to wait to go to prison to write a book. Let me try to write one now. Yeah. So that's the mindset that I kind of go with. I know a lot of people discover it, but I'd rather discover it now. Let it change my life now while I'm already out. Versus going in, I gotta wait, man. I can't wait 10 years. I done found Islam, and in 5 years, boy, I'm finna come out rocking. No, I'm out now. Let me take advantage of the life that I have right now. I know people that done died from COVID. I know people that done died from AIDS, died from cancer, died from these diseases. Bro, I don't have no disease. I know people that don't have legs. I know people that don't have arms. I know people that's blind. Bro, I can see. I got 2 hands. I got 2 arms. Why am I not going out every day and being productive? Why I keep saying I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month? There's somebody in the hospital and the grave right now that wish they had what I got right now. And I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about my car. I'm talking about just breath. I'm talking about the capability and the mind to think. I know somebody that got shot in the head. Brother out of Houston got shot in the head and he's, went brain dead. I know people that done went brain dead where they gotta be fed through a tube where they don't even think, like, they just, vegetables as they say. Bro, I got a mind, I can think, I can read, I can look, I can study. Why am I not taking advantage of those opportunities that I have? So I just look at it as I took advantage of the opportunity versus waiting till something bad happen.
Defamation of character, lies, truth. There's a lot that will come with being a young popular guy that represents the NOI. With that being said, you probably get the good and the bad. How do you deal with that when it comes when you seem to be, to those people who don't know you, a very positive guy that's for the people, for all people? Because I've saw you deal with, we say white people, like you deal with other people. Respectful, manners, you know what I'm saying? So how do you feel like, or why do you feel like somebody would come at you negatively when you just spreading a positive word?
That's the job of those who got evil intentions, to come after those who do good. If we believe in Jesus, those who believe in the story, what did he do wrong for the Jews to come after him? What did he do wrong for people to hate him and want to kill him? What did Martin Luther King do wrong? What did many of our black leaders who was killed, because I don't believe all of them have been killed, our real leaders, because if all real leaders was killed, that means I'm not a leader because I'm still alive and everybody else who's still alive not a leader. But it's just a part of the process, man. The minister says struggle is ordained. All of the prophets, was sent somebody in opposition, because in the midst of opposition, I now can see who I really am. It's easy to say rise above emotions into the thinking of God until something happens. Now let me see you do it. It's easy to say, conflict resolution. That's still your brother beyond whatever you say. Now let him call you a B word. Now let him say something about the minister. Now let's see how you're going to respond. Are you still going to keep your respect? Are you still going to be disciplined? And this is what the minister teaches us, man. We turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek is now you slap me and you get to, get this one right here. Now you might get hit in yours too, if you touch us physically, but at the same time, turn the other cheek is, hey man, I'm coming to save your life. And you say, man, nigga, forget that final call, nigga. Y'all niggas just bean pop. I take that. Yes, sir, man. You have a great day, man. You have a good one. I walk off. That's turning the other cheek. I could have said, well, nigga, that's why you're in the condition you're in, old broke. Y'all can go there. But it's like, no, yes, sir, brother, man, you have a great day. And I'll go on. So that's turning the other cheek, because we know the condition that our people have been in. We know, man, I know that there's a lot of brothers and sisters, mostly a lot of brothers, man, who didn't get a lot of love growing up. They didn't get a lot of respect growing up. And honestly, we turn into this tough guy because it's really out of fear. And there's this void that I'm trying to fulfill. And by me being this guy on social media, the comments now is hitting, and I'm starting to feel like this is love. I'm starting to feel like this is real support, but I'm really trying to fulfill this empty spot within me. So, I study, martial arts. I got to, get back
karate,
into it.
Brother B?
When I was younger. But, even when we learn it in our FOI class, martial arts, like Captain Anthony, he's changed his name since then, but many people know him by that. He's a killer. He can kill you instantly. But when you see him, he's always smiling. He's very, polite. Like he's not, I know, he's not doing that because he knows that he can kill you. So I feel like a lot of people who try to be aggressive and put that out there, I look at that from what I know about the teaching, something's wrong with you. Something has went wrong with you. Something has happened. So if we're guys by nature, if we are people or creatures that want peace by nature, but you want aggression and you always on 10, now that's something individually, personally that you got to deal with. And you might let that out on me. And I may respond and deal with it here and there. I might entertain it, but I never, as the minister teaches us, we don't get down in the gutter with them. When they start to cuss, we finna cuss you back out. You want to, I'll kill you. We ain't finna say I'm going to kill you back. Now, if you try to do that, there may be some consequences, but we're not That's not us. That's not our way. That's not how the minister teaches us. And how I'm able to, for me, deal with that at my age is because I'm someone who studied the minister back and I come up. So I'm known for putting out a lot of the minister's old lectures from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, because at that time, man, he was giving us a lot of game. And many of us, we probably don't know it because we didn't have time to watch the 3 or 4 hour lecture, but he done gave us so much guidance inside of those, done told us so much about his life, what he's gone through when he was poor, when he had to, man, he done went through a lot. And so when I'm looking at him, I said, dang, ain't nobody ever said that to me. Ain't nobody never threw rocks in my window. Ain't nobody ever tried to kill and assassinate me. Ain't nobody said this. So they done said so much about the minister, and he says, I love you more than you hate yourself. So although they come at him and they say all these evil things about him, he always meets them with love. He always responds with love. Now he'll deal with you. He'll deal with your falsehood. He gonna address the lies. Like he gonna do that, but he still knows at the end of that, you still my brother, you still my sister. So to see my teacher move in that type of manner, it makes it easier for me when somebody comes after me, because I know if I'm following the Christ, if I pick up my cross, as it says, and I'm following Christ, if they hated him, why wouldn't they hate me? So the question really is, if I'm not hated, who am I following? Yeah. If I'm not persecuted, who am I following? If everybody loves me and I have no enemies, hell, I might be following the wrong person.
The young Pharoh, man, I recently saw him on a few different channels, bringing up your name, Brother Reza, saying that you DM'd his baby mother and threatened her and her child, saying that you would kill them.
He slid in my son's mom's DM and basically was like, him and Ben X, and was like, they were
Brother Ben.
Yeah, Brother Ben. This is how I know who they is. This is how I got on they. If it wasn't for them doing that, we would have never had a conversation.
Yeah.
Those are heavy accusations, Brother Ben.
Yeah.
Can you address that for us here, man, on the Bob report?
Yeah, man. I don't know where he got that from. I just put together a documentary.
Did you do that, Brother Ben?
Yeah, it's called.
No. Did you DM his mother?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Here's the thing with that, man. He got a screenshot of him DMing me saying, peace, God. He plays like he didn't know me, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't know these guys until they inbox, but I got an inbox. And here's the thing, like this is a prime example of, I'm seeing the accusation, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, this is poor brother. Like I feel sorry for him. One, because I'm starting to feel like he really believed that happened. That's what I'm really feeling sorry for. I'm like, damn, bro, because it's stuff online saying that I think he done said it too. I ain't seen the video, but some people said that somebody
done. People too, Brother Ben.
Yeah, slipped something in his drink and they said something happened to him mentally.
Oh.
So I don't know. Hopefully that's what it is, or I don't know what it is, man. But I feel sorry for him because I'm starting to think he really believes that's what happens. Now here's why I feel sorry for him. In my documentary, he must don't know. Him telling what actually happened is still on YouTube. So you go look at.
I saw it.
If you go look at what he actually said happened, and hear what he's saying now, it's two different things. So, and here's another thing. If you didn't know us before we so-called allegedly inbox your baby mama and said we're gonna kill him, which is foolishness. But why would you screenshot my response to what you said about doing some show together, but you wouldn't screenshot that we inbox your baby mama? So it's easy now to say, yep, he did it. Oh, by the way, I lost my Instagram, so I can't prove it to you guys. Well, I got the proof. Check out the documentary. Hopefully, Brother Real Tune TV, I'll let him put it out there publicly first. I've been sending it, to people. It's still unlisted on my page. But in my documentary, I chop up all of it, man, and show you guys what really happened, give you the proof, give you the dates. I got all that. So I still have all the receipts, and a lot of it is still online, which is why I don't get why he's making up this lie, because the actual story is still online. But again, man, that's that I'm sure this happened with the minister. They accused the minister of killing Malcolm X, knowing that the actual person who did it actually said, hey, I did it. I wasn't influenced by the Nation of Islam. There's an article on CNN where he said this, but people literally on social media say the minister did it. Not, oh, the minister was part of it. The minister said at that time, yes, you know, there was a lot of words speaking. There was a lot of back and forth things said out of anger, of course. That's what's going to happen. It happens in the streets all day. You know, you say something, I want to defend somebody, whatever the case may be. He wasn't even there at all. But people in today's time, they literally have the narrative that he's the one who did it. I done heard, they done said the minister killed Martin Luther King. Man, I done heard all kind of stuff. I'm talking about for real. So it's like, man, it just comes with the territory at this point. It's just a part of the process.
Do you think that young Pharoh is coming at you because of the light that you have on yourself? Is that what he's after?
That's the only logical thing that would make sense to me. Because if you look at the videos and look at who he really had a problem with, which was somebody totally different than myself and brother Reza, he had this problem with somebody who was older. Why don't he bring up his name? Why don't he even mention that? How did they go from, yeah, this older generation, me and Ben had this private conversation, me, brother Ben and Reza, we had a beautiful live, we had this phone call, we stopping the beef, and these older generation to try to keep it going, messing up what the youth got. How I go from that to, no, brother Ben and Reza, they the ones who inbox. So like, it's like, that's the only thing that makes sense. Why just mention me and brother Reza? If there's all these so-called Muslims that was inboxing me, they was doing it. This is him saying this. Yeah, they was saying this and they saying this, and you can say this about me, but not my baby mom. Out of all these people you saying something, why on these stories it's just brother Ben and brother Reza? Well, it's so convenient that brother Ben and brother Reza has a platform, so that's the only thing that would make sense to me.
Do you feel like you being who you are, you being a big speaker for the Nation of Islam, this is just the beginning, part of the people that are gonna come for you. Maybe not even for you, because I really feel like if y'all ever met, if y'all haven't, he would treat you with respect. He would not bow down, but you know, it would be some mutual manhood stuff going on, because he knows what you are. If he can see all that and say all that different type of stuff, he can see the light in you. Yeah. And he would understand that, okay, let me lead his brother.
And honestly, if I can be honest, I see the light in him too. Although he said all these different things, he done lied, he done made threats and all that type of stuff. He's a smart guy. You know, I don't think puts out all factual information, and I've done my videos in response to him as it refers to the Nation of Islam and the Minister Louis Farrakhan, where he'll go off something that's already posted and post it as his evidence of fact, when that's not always fact, because what somebody puts out and what somebody says is not always true. But his zeal, I love the zeal. So like that whole threats and all that, that's cool, because the Nation of Islam needs soldiers. So we need somebody who tough. We just need to channel that energy. Don't go after your brother who ain't did nothing to you. Don't go after your brother in ignorance and foolishness, even if it's not us. Allowing somebody else to say something and trick you out your position where you trying to be so tough to where you ready to go back to prison. So what, you done been to prison before?
He's been to prison?
Yeah, according to what he said, he done been to jail, said he been a hitman and got 50 bodies.
You said a hitman?
That's what he said. I ain't say that's what he said.
He had a big old sword on the interview one time.
Yeah. So this is what he said. So for me, man, it's like, you know, you ain't gotta do all that, man. You say you got this app that has been the #1 app, man. Stick to the education. Stick to what you know about math. Stick to what you know about our people history, the science. I think he's pretty good with science. Like, there's not too many young people, man. They got voices that's bold enough to go against the grain. Like, I feel like he's bold enough to go against the grain if he just had the right knowledge and really the right guidance. Because having knowledge but not having the right guidance and moral a character with the guidance can be very dangerous. So I would say, man, I see the light in him as well, man. I think if he just, you know, I think as he get older, we'll see things change. You know, right now, you know, it looks cool to threaten. It looks cool to say, yeah, nigga, pull up. It looks cool to say, yeah, nigga, I blow your head off. Who says that online? So like that type of stuff, man, just lets me know mentally something's not there. So, I think as he matures, man, and he takes some of what he's already doing as far as his research, how he puts together his presentations, is good. So I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, man, what if he had the right knowledge? And when I say right knowledge, I'm not saying they got to be Nation of Islam. I'm not saying you got to be FOI, but just doing what you're doing in the right way without going after people who ain't did nothing to you. I think, he'll shine a lot more. And it's sad because this is not just coming from me. If you look at the comments on his page and what people have said about him, it's like, man, this is a different person. I looked at the comments on Real Tune TV. A lot of them are saying, man, I used to follow him, but something happened. He done changed up. He's saying stuff different now. So look at all the people you could have been impacting still if you would have just stayed on the right path and not, trying to engage in the beef and the conflict and all this type of stuff. So
what does he practice?
Man, I don't know. I heard him say on Buddha now, so I don't know. First, his name was Pharoh Allah. Then it was Pharaoh Aten. Now it's Buddha. I don't know, man, what he practiced. I don't really watch his content at all, to be honest with you. I just saw that because somebody sent it to me and said that he mentioned my name. So, actually, Tune texted me. He said, hey, man, this dude mentioned your name. I'm just letting you know. I was like, I'm familiar with him, which I don't even get, like, the situation. So this is another reason why I think it's, cloud chasing. This happened in 2018. Man, we in 2023. How you bringing up something that happened so many years ago now in 2023? So like the logic, what is the intentions of bringing this up from all the way in 2000? We ain't said, I ain't made now video about him since then.
So you just woke up one day and he
seen like I done inbox somebody, baby mama. I'm this hitman out of nowhere.
Did you have to answer to your wife?
No.
Brother Ben said, no, I don't have those problems, Supreme. Okay. Okay. You're into real estate, correct?
Yeah, digital real estate.
We've heard you mention digital real estate. Would you like to explain what you mean when you say digital real estate?
Yeah, so digital real estate is land that don't exist. No, I'm just playing. Charleston White said that.
He said that?
Yeah, he said, Brother Ben X said the land that don't exist. No, but digital real estate is a concept that I developed because there was a sister who was kind of teaching me about physical real estate. And she was teaching me about how, if you get a fourplex, you have three, you got these three doors or whatever complexes that you're renting out. You paying a mortgage for, and you use that rent money to pay your mortgage and your home. So the goal is to get a bunch of doors that gives you residual income. Well, when I looked at how much you get paid off each door, I'm looking at 500, 600, things of that nature. I'm like, that's okay. And when I'm looking at what I'm making online on one video, I'm getting $1,000 on this one video. I'm getting $67,000 in 1 month off this one Facebook page. I'm getting $10,000 on YouTube. I'm getting all this money from a course or whatever the case may be, a digital product. So I got so many ways to make money. So when I look at it, I said, man, I got 2,000 properties online. What do I mean by that? All these properties, as long as they monetize, is bringing me residual income. Mm-hmm. Then when I took it to another level and I created my own course and I got my own digital product, I started to think like, well, how much is Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi, $80 or whatever the case may be. I started to look at how much is our cell phone bills? How much is our insurance bills? Our insurance bills may be less than $200, but imagine $80 or $100 times 10,000 people, times 100,000 people. So I always tell people, man, don't focus on just passive income, focus on passive impact. Because the more people you impact, the more income will come. So imagine having 1,000 people paying you $10 a month because you got something valuable that you're giving them on a monthly basis. Imagine somebody paying you $25 a month. Imagine somebody paying you $500 a month. Then as you increase, a mansion is going to be more than a regular house, so you're going to pay more. So why? Because it's more valuable. It got kitchen that's looking nice. They got a pool in the back, multi-levels. So when you look at my product or my service, it's almost like a mansion because not only do you get live access with me, you learn how to create content, you learn how to market, you learn how to increase your engagement, you learn how to create landing page, you learn about email and text message and automation. You learn all this in my class where one program, they may show you one of those things. But when you join digital real estate, I show you all that I have done on social media. So that's like a mansion. So now imagine 1,000 people paying you $700, $500, $1,000 just to get that program. I've had people that has made over $100,000 from my digital real estate class. I've had several, over 3 businesses that has brought in over $1 million from what I taught them and brought to the company from my digital real estate strategies. One company brought in over 12 million in 1 year. One company made over 7 figures in less than 8 months. All this is documented. I got receipts. I got screenshots of our back office to prove it. So now digital real estate, I can do this from home. It may take me 6 months or a year to build a physical property or a physical home, but it take me personally 10 minutes to make a video. I put this 10-minute video out and it get thousands of views. That's money coming in. That's money coming in from the video. That's money coming in from the affiliates, the affiliate links that I may have. I'm going to strip that video and upload that audio to my podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm going to make some money from there. I'm going to take my long form content, put that on my Instagram and monetize that, my Facebook and monetize that. Then I'm going to take my those short videos, put it on TikTok, that can be monetized. And I'm going to take that and put it back on YouTube, just as short clips, and monetize that. While inside of all those videos, I can have my own commercial, my own branding, my own links to my product. So not only am I getting paid from all of the ad money, now more people are discovering me that want my program or one-on-one coaching, and I'm getting paid from that as well. I also in a program where we help people save money. When you look at how much money you earning in the bank, you're only getting 0.01%. So you earning money. So if you go look up fractional reserve banking, what fractional reserve banking is, the bank can legally lend out over 90% of your money and charge interest on that money and give you a payback reward. Well, the payback reward is 0 point something percent. So you charging 12%, 10% plus on my money, you making millions off of our money and you giving us back 0 point something percent. So I've learned and been introduced to a program on the blockchain where we're earning up to 4.15% weekly on our money. So now when you be in a position where you're earning $10,000 a month passively, where you ain't got to create content, I ain't got to do no marketing, that sounds a little bit more appealing than physical real estate to me.
How would somebody come to you to learn about the digital real estate? I heard you mention all of the key points, but if someone came to you from scratch, hey, Brother Ben, how do I do this? What is the first thing you tell them if they don't have any real estate for it to be digital? Yeah,
so I have this framework.
If that makes sense.
And I always tell people, man, if someone invited you, or would you invite someone to a housewarming with no couches in it, with no TVs in it? Most people say, no, I wouldn't do that. So I tell people all the time, why you asking me to follow you? Why you asking other people to follow you and you ain't got nothing for them to follow? So if you are a businessman, if you are who you say you are, if you're a rapper, why you not showing you rapping on your page? So the first thing I tell people is just document your process. I don't care if you broke right now. Hey man, what's going on, family? It's your brother Ben X. I just want to let y'all know, man, right now I'm broke. Here's the plan I got for the next 3 weeks, man. I'm gonna be documenting, showing y'all, giving y'all weekly updates. This podcast episode number 1. I really have done that. I have done vlogs where I said, man, I gotta go live with my in-laws. We going back and my whole family living in one room. That's where my song Boom came from. I used to stay in one room. Almighty God made room. The devils prayed for my doom. They weren't prepared for the boom. Well, that's coming from a real situation. I went live before. Hey man, I'm stuck on the highway, family. Man, my car keep messing up. So people know me from when I first started about my gray Grand Prix. I had to keep putting power steering fluid in it. It kept leaking.
What you drive now?
I drive a Corvette now.
Okay.
People know me for riding my hoverboard to work. I wasn't too ashamed to show, man, I'm riding my hoverboard to work because I ain't got enough money to fix my car. But now when you see me now, it's like, damn, I seen his progress. I've seen him grow, and it make you feel closer to me. So now when I drop a song, now I'm getting thousands of views on my song, and I don't even really rap like that. Now I'm getting thousands of views on my videos and things of this nature because I just documented the process. So the first step to, building your digital real estate is just document what you actually do. If you're a rapper, document that. If you're a consultant, if you're a manager, document that. Like for example, if I'm a manager for a rapper, I'm filming myself too behind the scenes because new rappers want to discover new managers. So I'm documenting maybe some meetings that I'm in. I'm documenting some negotiations. I'm documenting me talking to the rapper, giving him suggestions. On social media right now, people want to see the authentic you because there's so many people faking today, saying I do this. We don't care about degrees today. Well, I'll say this, I don't care about your degree. Let me see you actually living it online through content marketing. That's what's gonna tell me who you really are. So that's what I would say, man. You can join my course by going to www.drecourses.com. That's our entry-level course. It's just $97 a month. Or you can check out, my free, I go live all the time on Instagram, just giving real game on social media. If you want to get access to, like, when I go live, free trainings and things of that nature, you can text the word digital to 833-276-7174, and that's going to put you on my text list, and I'll text you every time I'm going live about digital real estate. Just teaching, I answer questions live. I do a lot of stuff for free.
Speaking of real estate, we've saw you publicly purchase land, you and others, real land. How did that even come about, and how would somebody that's interested in joining the group be able to purchase land with you?
So I'm not I wasn't necessarily the person over the land. I was an investor myself. So there was this project called the 100 Acre Project, and the concept of it was, hey man, everybody pool our resources together, and if we need to get a cow, instead of one person getting a cow because he's the only one got all this land, bragging about all the land he got personally, why not we just buy it collectively? So if it's 50,000, all 10 of us just split it. Hey man, if it's 5,000, 6,000, hey y'all, let's just split it. If we got to clear the land, if we got to get a tractor, things of that nature. So I came in, I paid thousands of dollars, over 10,000, to become the 13th person to buy the land. Now, when I seen the concept and how we can do things at a faster pace, I said, man, let's collaborate, and I can help scale this online. So I told the brother, I said, let's scale this. So basically what the organization was, we formed a new brand, but I handled the digital real estate and he handled the land part, because that's what he was already doing before I met him. So I'm the type of person, when I collaborate with you, I let you do your thing, I do my thing. So that's why a lot of times y'all just saw me making the content. And on the interviews, I would say things like, when there was a land question, I would say, well, that ain't my lane. But I know if somebody got something impactful and helpful for our people, I know how to get it out there. So at this point, we are not selling any more lots. Right now, we're locking down the land, paying off some things on the development side so that we can start to build on it. But we collaborated together to lock it down and buy it, put a down payment, things of that nature on it. And now we just, waiting at, going through the process of having to get things in the county and all that type of stuff that I obviously don't know about. So it's all happening in Georgia. So I'm here in Texas, obviously, so I handle the content side and the land and the development side. They handle that in Atlanta. But I can let you guys know probably in the next 6 months to a year or something like that when we are doing more projects. But right now, we pretty much at full capacity.
Gotcha. Recently, in the Tyree Nichols case, the 5 black Memphis police officers pleaded not guilty. Not guilty to something that we all saw them do. I feel like it was a tad bit coerced, if you ask me. How do you feel about that, and why do you think those brothers chose not guilty?
I also did a documentary on that situation that it's called Black Devils Made in America on my YouTube. The situation, I feel like, well, here's what I said on my YouTube channel. I said it was either premeditated to where they knew this person, because how they got out the car and was already on 10, it didn't seem normal to me. It seemed like they already knew this guy and had some beef with this guy. That's one, or 2, the Memphis Police Department has done a trash job at training them. So if that's a normal act and they really didn't know this brother and they really had no prior instances with him and they just jumped out like that on him, then there needs to be a whole retraining of everybody, an investigation and a look at the training that was done by the Memphis police. Now, my perspective on this whole them pleading not guilty. Now, obviously, we all seen it. They was on camera. But what I'm thinking about is, wow, these people, these brothers, or these black men or boys was inside
of the police department. So they know what we don't know. They see what we don't see. They see how things operate. You know, they see things operate in a way that we don't see it because they're on the inside, right? Team Blue, they shield or whatever. So what I'm thinking is, and what I thought was, wow, for them to even, they probably not gonna be innocent. They ain't gonna pass. But for them to even plead non-guilty tells me that just in their mindset that they believe they can get off just because they police officers. And they know that there is some type of leverage that they have making it easier for them to get off just because they police officers, which makes me think back on all the situations where we've seen police officers get off and we know that they killed the person, it potentially being just because they was police officers. So that was the thought process that I had for them to even have the thought to plead non-guilty when you know that we saw you. That's what came up in my head. But I can't give actual facts because I haven't read on what their reasoning was for pleading non-guilty, what they pleading non-guilty for. They can't be pleading non-guilty for beating them and causing a murder because we all seen that. So I haven't read the actual facts. I did see the headlines that they pled not guilty, but I got to do the research and see what they pled not guilty for, because if it was for that, then that's just foolishness because we all saw that.
You know, Brother Ben, you're an intelligent guy, and what's probably going to happen is this. Somebody going to tell on somebody, because somebody going to say, hey man, I just held his leg. I didn't hit him in the head. You hit him in the head and kicked him about 10 times. I just punched him in the arm and maybe got, you know. So now here comes the whole flip of the game, and now you get back to the snitching. Mm-hmm. And you need to stop talking, and you need to, you know what I'm saying? But y'all are police officers that are supposed to be protecting and serving us, but y'all hop out and
like a gang.
Yeah, blatantly beat this guy. Didn't have any weapons on him. He wasn't putting up any fight, and you plead not guilty because you think you're gonna get away with it. And we about to publicly watch 5 black men get hung in front of all of us in 2023.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, brother. I was gonna say, Brother Nuri made a point. I think back in 2015, he said, you know, when a white man kills one of us, you know, we die and they go to prison. Or they don't go to prison. We die and they don't go to prison all times. In this situation with a black cop or a black man, we die, somebody die, and their life get destroyed as well. They go to prison. They gonna get the justice, or Brother Tyree and his family probably would get the justice because they are black men. So the sad part about this is, number one, that it's brothers killing brothers, black men killing black men, but one has died, and now because y'all are black, you probably not finna get no sympathy as well.
Gotcha. You're a fan of hip hop, so you even have music out on streaming platforms, man. And your boy Boosie is back in the headlines, man, and he's made a statement about another rap legend, distinguished guy T.I., saying that if you told on your deceased cousin, you a rat too. He doesn't spare anybody. What's your take on Brother Boosie, man? 'Cause I know you're a fan of Boosie. What do you think about that?
Man, Boosie gonna speak his mind, and honestly, from a personal perspective, I like the consistency. I like the fact that, you know, Vlad was basically saying, well, let me see what he gonna say about T.I. And he was like, I don't care who you is. If you don't follow and stay on code with these principles, then I'm not with you, no matter who you are, how close you are. So I do like that aspect. That shows a level of integrity, you know, because I'm not just gonna let you slide because you my brother. I'm not gonna just let you slide and do something wrong, in street terms, of course, in that life. And I think those are principles that need to take place in all life. Like, I don't care who you are, I'm not gonna let you continue to do something bad just because I know you. So that part I liked. But I also saw T.I.'s response and saying that he wants to show him the paperwork. Now, this is a kind of tricky situation because I do believe, because of, I don't know how close they are, but I've seen them around each other. And I know they had an album that was about to come out. So I do think before going off like that, he should have called them. You know, before you got on that interview, I'm sure he saw the video because he spoke on the video. So versus giving a response on a video and having spoken to Brother T.I., I think that he should have reached out to T.I. first, like on some, you know, personal, because you know him. Now these other person who you know, who may be harassing, things of that nature, you may not have a relationship with them. But hey man, what's going on, man? You what you mean by this video? You know, because you collaborated with me, so whatever you do affects the album. So I think she should have talked to T.I. first. But then again, I gotta be fair and say, well, dang, T.I. said this himself on video. So even if he didn't see the paperwork, T.I. is saying this on the video. But I still think because
Boosie think he lying.
Yeah. And but see, here's the thing: if he think he's lying, why not reach out to him before going that route? Because and I say that because he knows how what Vlad gonna do, and he's aware of what social media is gonna do. Even though he said, man, I think he lying, they just gonna take the parts of him going off, looking like he's going off on T.I. and have them going back and forth at each other. So T.I. wrote this long caption saying that basically, pull up. You know, I got the paperwork and I didn't tell. Well, he said on the interview I saw yesterday, he said that was satire. So I got to go back and watch the full T.I. interview. Was satire? Yeah, he got a video out that this guy that I follow interviewed him about the Boosie situation. So he has a response now. He was saying basically when he said that my cousin talked to me from the dead, he was just playing. He was just like, it was satire. But then when I see the video, he was like, I'm volunteering this information, just being truthful. So it's like, it's kind of hard because over here you saying that you just telling us what really happened. But then right here you saying it was satire. But through all the confusion, I think, man, just having a conversation first before publicly going out. And I take that from the minister as well. I think the minister was asked something about Eddie Murphy. I don't know who the white reporter was, and the minister said, I'll ask him and talk about that personally, offline. I want to address it here. And I think Boosie should have went that route. But I do like the fact that, you know, he's standing on what he stand on no matter who it is. So I do like that part of it, but I think he should have reached out to him since they already got a relationship first when he saw it versus going off, you know, on Vlad, because you know how, you know, they gonna spin it and make it look worse than what it is.
There's no more tape coming out between them two.
Yeah, he said that's done. He said it done messed up the album, I guess.
So do you think Boosie goes too far with his standing on his integrity and because, you know, he has another situation where he was speaking on Dwayne Wade's and Gabrielle Union's child and Dwayne Wade's child, and you know recently his daughter she came out and you know, so now is he gonna stand on that integrity or is he gonna, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great point. If somebody asks him about it, I'm curious to know what his response is going to be, you know, because that will show you. But even then, I don't think it's going too far. I just think that the initial before you, because Boosie gonna be Boosie. I can't, you know, I'm smart enough to know that his reality is not my reality. So how somebody in the nation or somebody, you know, who I may know, how I think they should respond, I'm not expecting him to respond that way. So I expect to going off, I expect that, but I just think that before you do what Boosie gonna do, just call your brother, you know, beforehand. I don't think that goes against the street code or that type of lifestyle. When you see something, you call him personally first. So I would have liked to have seen or found out that was done first. Now, if he did that and T.I. was like, yeah, man, I did it. T.I. know what Boosie gonna say, I think at that point. But if T.I. is saying, no, man, that's actually not what went down, and he didn't allow him to address him personally, now he done went off, you know, it's but again, I can see Boosie's point. Why even play like that when you know what I'm standing on and you know we got this joint album? But at the same time, again, that video that they playing was from over a year ago. That's an old video that people is, you know, brewing up. So it's a lot of stuff, man, where I can see both sides, man. So that's why I just think at the end of the day, no matter what my perspective is, I think they should have talked first. Hey, man, address this. If you got some stuff that you seen that's finna throw off y'all business, because the minister said, when we beef, he was talking to the rappers, when you beef, we can't come together in unity and do big things economically because we beefing with each other. We let the Jewish community come in and make money off of our talent. He said they ain't got the talent. We got the talent. They'll rent out the buildings. They'll rent out, do all the stuff, fund it, and get all the recoupment back and make all this money when we the ones that people coming to see. But because we divided and we can't come together, we can't never think on a big level like that. So that's what I would say.
Do you feel like they may be doing this and drop the album? This is some good stuff for the album to
I
come
don't
out,
think
man.
Boosie would do that, especially after he's saying, you know, what he gonna stand on, unless T.I. comes out and makes it crystal clear. I don't think Boosie will drop it because that will go against what he's saying. If he's saying he's not gonna drop the album because of how it affects, I feel like if he changes his mind and drops it and we ain't saw no reconciliation about what went on, that's gonna be detrimental because now people in the comments gonna say, "Oh, you folded. You ain't standing on business like you talking about." So I don't think Boosie gonna do it unless they have a real conversation and he really see like, all right, man, I was wrong.
Hey, real tone, it's some real money in the room.